What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Monday. It's a Let's Get It Monday. Monday's where you set the tone for how the rest of your week is gonna go, y'all. So let's get out here and get it on this Monday. We're here for the Married to Medicine reunion part 2. Before we get into the business, listen, one of my subscribers told me that I am no longer in her algorithm and she had to look for me. And then when she found me, she had been unsubscribed. So if you're subscribed or you think you're subscribed, go ahead, check and make sure they haven't unsubscribed you. Also, share the video, like the video, help me get out in this algorithm so I can entertain others the same way I have been able to entertain you. At least I guess that's why you're here, child, for some entertainment. So this was entertaining. I was entertained as hell by this part 2 of the reunion. Part 2 of the reunion. If I was gonna rate it, I'm gonna give it, okay, let me give it a 9. Nothing really over the top really happened, but I found myself cackling. Like my girl Jamie, that's me, says, I was cackling. Um, where did we leave off? We left off with them talking about how Dr. David be out in these streets. And Simone says she knows this lady that said Dr. David was out here trying to get her phone number. Heavenly said, do you believe it? And Simone is like, I mean, Toya says she's heard the rumors out in these streets. Listen, I used to live in Atlanta, and it's a big city and a small town at the same damn time because your business, be out there. And honestly, you don't even have to be in just Atlanta. I feel like the world we live in now, everybody know what everybody is doing, and it's literally impossible for you to go somewhere and be doing some dirt. You will have to be so careful and incognito with the way you do things. Child, I don't think they're that big of a star, but I think if you're getting messy, like the lady was telling Dr. Simone with a big mouth, she knew that was going. Simone, didn't I say that the last time when you were over here starting these rumors about Quad? Simone clearly still hates Dr. Heavenly, or she wouldn't have brought it up. She would have did like Dr. Jackie did and sat over there and been like, Not only has she heard it, she didn't even say, I mean, I've heard things, but you hear things about a lot of people. She didn't say that. She said, this lady I know said that Damon was out here asking for her phone number. So she been holding that one in the chamber. Heavenly is like, do you believe it? Like I said, she, Toya says she been hearing the rumors too. And Contessa said that Dr. Heavenly seems like a miserable person to be with, so she hopes that Dr. Damon is getting his happiness from somewhere. Shots fired, Contessa. That was you that did that. You started it, and where do Heavenly go? She gonna go low. Contessa, when you start some shit with somebody that's notoriously going low when she claps back, be careful, get out the way. Dr. Heavenly responded with like, I can't focus because your botched titties is over here distracting me from whatever it is you're saying. Pew pew. Dr. Heavenly, right back at Contessa. Now Contessa want to be like, I had a double mastectomy, and she going back to her medical history. Girl, we know. We heard about it, but you went over there and you said that lady, right while she's in her feelings, because the people that's supposed to be having her back, Dr. Simone, is over here saying that the lady said that Damon was out here asking for phone numbers. And the way Dr. Damon is acting about the whole cheating situation, and can I say Contessa is not wrong? I'm sorry, but uh I feel like Dr. Damon is miserable with Dr. Heavenly. Simone got a big mouth. Heavenly got a big mouth. At least Simone's big mouth don't usually be all over the internet. Heavenly going to come over Carlos King's channel and her own channel and be just doing world tours, talking shit about these people on her cast, except Dr. Jackie. Contessa has a great figure. I really like. I mean, based on that dress, I don't know. I don't feel like her titties looked botched. I wasn't even focused on it. Heavenly Decay for the ladies' teeth on the internet. I will say, Contessa, are you okay? You just look. washed out, like Portia said about Drew. She look washed out. Her hair is flat and greasy and scraggly. Like it's like what happened between the time you was in the back room getting ready and when you got over here to the floor. She just is like a withering flower, that Contessa. With a great figure. So to Heavenly, I mean, I guess with the titties or whatever. I think she's, and Contessa gets on my last nerve. It's the bunch of big mouths over here. Contessa, Simone, Heavenly. It was just a stressful group to hang around with. Quad. Dr. Mimi, are you sure? Because she seemed a little quiet. You know what I mean? But she said, well, she got a ponytail. Was she wearing a ponytail to this reunion? Contessa over there trying to talk and Heavenly talking up. Girl, this is why I can't with you because you be doing, oh, girl. She just won't let the lady get her words out. Heavenly doesn't like a conversation when it's gonna call Heavenly out on some of her bullshit. Was that too far? You knew it was too far before it came out your mouth, but you shot your shot and you take it back. Contessa, you know how she do. I wouldn't want to start with Heavenly because I would not want to obliterate the lady because it's only gonna make me look bad. You know what I'm saying? With someone as insecure as Heavenly is, her big mouth would really probably get her in trouble with somebody, who is not afraid to obliterate that ass. Um, and now that people over here confirming that Dr. Damon don't always he got biracial babies and things, allegedly. That's what the streets is saying. Dr. Damon like them white girls. I'm not surprised. Anyway, with Heavenly being the way she is, and then I'm gonna move away from this. Anyway, let's just move on. Sweet Tea wants to normalize old ass niggas dating women that their daughter's age or their granddaughter's age, even. And I feel like T, this is already normalized. Poor little Tink Tink. That's all I really got to say about that. She said she had two failed attempts. At some point, the conversation kind of flipped over to her, quest to become a mother. She said she had two failed attempts with IUI treatments, and now she's going to try IVF. I didn't know what the difference between the two of these things were. I guess with IUI, you try to, get treatments to fertilize within the womb. And with IVF, you fertilize and then you place the fertilized egg to the womb. Um, these treatments are expensive as hell. You would have to have money. I heard her on her channel because I thought they were talking shit. Her and Simone were over on T's channel and they said some little slick shit about paying off Quad's house. How is Quad gonna pay off her house? Listen, T was over her channel and said she help paying off Quad's house, and they laughed about it. And then Dr. Simone was like, "Who gonna help Quad pay off that house she in now?" I mean, why are you in Quad's pockets? Maybe the king will help. We do not know. It's gonna get paid for if she move in with the king and go ahead and rip that thing out. The mortgage will be paid. I'm just saying. Anyway, Andy brought up, I don't know if it was a caller, a viewer, or what have you, but Andy brought up the fact that Greg gave Letitia a deadline in order to have a baby. And she, I don't know, she said he didn't mean it. I feel like the whole time she sit here, she had to like rebuttal and fix anything that came out of this man's mouth during the season. He didn't mean it like that. He just said, as far as, we have to try other ways, blah, blah, blah. Simone said, Dr. Greg is old. He's 56 years old. And as you get older, you don't want to be chasing no toddlers around and, being 80 years old at the graduations and things. I feel like, first of all, Dr. Greg would do no more work with a baby than he will, without one. All of that will be put on T. She will be required to do all the things, that women are supposed to do when they're a wife. Now, he set down the guidelines, and I'm sure she's willing to follow them. So for her, that won't be a problem. He won't have to chase anyone. He's just gonna scream, T, come get this kid. That's how I see that happening, you know. And then take lots of pictures, like, to show how they're such a beautiful family. One of the viewers asked T, what are 3 essentials for landing a rich older man? To which she did not answer the question. She followed up with something about, we deserve to have somebody like support us and protect us and provide for us. And I'm like, that's not what he said. He said, how do you snag a rich older man? You slide into the DMs. That would have been the answer. That's what you did. You offered up your uterus to this man through his DMs. You were very proud to talk about it. Baby emojis and everything. So we still waiting. Quad agrees with her. She said a man should support his woman and not shun her and dismiss her when she's just trying to make you understand. And Andy's like, are you talking about Greg? And she's like, yes. And then T's like, she just stay worried about Greg. And Andy's like, I don't think she's worried about Greg. And she's like, girl, Greg are my scraps. He's my leftovers. I left them there for you to pick up. Quai said, ooh. She said she jumped into the DMs promising a man a child that she has yet to provide. And I said, ooh, we all thinking it. When you don't have a snappy mouth, you have to be careful arguing with people with a snappy mouth. Heavenly got a snappy mouth. Quad got a snappy mouth. And if you can, girl, that's all she could say. That's all she could say. But you walked yourself into that because what had happened was Quad was speaking on your behalf, you dummy. She said, you deserve to have someone that respects you and your opinions and all of the things. And then Sweet Tea interpreted, whatever Greg said in her ear. You're just jealous. Didn't you get enough money in the divorce settlement? You're just mad you didn't get enough money in the divorce settlement. The reason why your reads don't work is because they don't make sense. Like if Quad was somewhere struggling somewhere, then maybe it would land a little different. But you can't tell somebody what they didn't get when they over there living better than you by herself. See, she's got a beautiful home, and this is like the second beautiful home she bought. She had a condo, and everybody's like, Quad should have kept that condo. Quad should do whatever Quad wants to do. It's just a house. If it becomes more than she can handle, she just sell it and get something else. Jeez. Y'all making it seem like this girl. I mean, you can't say somebody's jealous when they living better than you living without a squeaky little Dr. G. They were out here on Instagram talking shit about each other. They both been talking shit about each other. Qua says, this lady is obsessed with her. She kind of giving obsessed. She is. She's really kind of giving obsessed. Sweet Tea is. She dressing like Quad. I don't know if that little event, the sweets and the sours or whatever the hell the name of that thing was, the same name as Quad's cooking channel. Then I saw her cooking with Dr. Simone. And I'm like, so now you have a cooking channel too? Like whatever Quad does, you're going to try it? And if you can't execute it better than Quad, that just doesn't make sense. And you won't be able to. She sat up there and said, Quad was a drunk. Why would I be jealous of a drunk? Well, actually, what happened was Dr. Heavenly slid that in there. She said you was a drunk. You said she was a drunk on the internet. You called her a drunk with failed businesses. And I'm like, wasn't she the one carrying? And when I say she, I mean T. Wasn't T carrying around flasks with Hennessy or whatever she had in her little pocketbook? Girl, when you get down to the vacation spot and get a little juiced up and you say fuckity fuck to Dr. Jackie. And it even wasn't even about the worst thing she's done. You just was saying fuckity fucks to Dr. Jackie because you was a little toasty. So everybody been drinking over here. You refer to this lady as an alcoholic. Be careful because now you're doing the same thing that Heavenly was doing. Defamation of character is a real thing. Quad didn't run to the courthouse, but I bet you Dr. G would. Well, he didn't for Heavenly, but if it had been Quad, he would have been down to the courthouse. They talk about down back at, we're back at the retreat where, Greg tells this lady she got a big effing mouth. They said he said shut the F up. It really don't matter. The sentiment is the same. T is over here defending it's two different things. It is. The sentiment is exactly the same though. Her effing mouth and all of that, like, you be worried about trying to defend and explain the things that Dr. G has said instead of wondering why he is so bent out of shape over a woman that he has been divorced from for 7 years. You shouldn't have no type of energy with Quad. She is gone. She's gone and she's found a king. And I feel like you low-key jealous that she found a king and you're stuck with a Dr. G. Simone's unloyal ass, flippity floppity ass, is over here talking about Quad started out gloating about her relationship with King. And then at some point, the energy turned over to Sweet Tea and Greg. And it did. And Quad wants to sit up in there and say, I was speaking positivity in their relationship and wishing them well. And then Greg just told me to shut my effing mouth. First of all, Simone ain't shit. Quad, I don't see why you should ever be down here again asking Simone's forgiveness or asking Simone to apologize. Let Simone's loudmouth ass stay over there in Sweet Tea's kitchen, the one that used to be yours. Now she's just going to hang around this girl, Simone, because she's a spiteful little one, doctor. Funny thing is, Phaedra had her little video that she posted last week about, how these ladies are nasty, mean, trash, mean girls. And although I feel like Phaedra is everything she accused them of being, everything that came out of her mouth is exactly Phaedra. But y'all are over here being some trashy ass mean girls, Dr. Simone. Let's talk about Dr. Heavenly and how she was out here tweeting disparaging, disrespectful, defamation of character-esque type tweets. When she's confronted about it with that choker tight around her neck, looking like she can't breathe, she don't want to talk about the tweets because that's going to make her be in trouble with Dr. Damon. So she's over here like, I have no beef with T. I just don't. Blah, 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 bottom of my heart. She's apologizing again. And, she's going to say it and she's going to take it back. I like that. Dr. Heavenly apologized so much. What do you mean you don't have beef with T? Yes, you do. You've been arguing with this girl like 10 seconds after you said that, y'all beefing again. So we don't want to hear it. Andy asks Heavenly, do you think you were hard on T during the season. Do you think you owe her an apology? And Heavenly does not apology, Miss, I don't see anybody taking accountability. She says, I respect her for coming here today because some people didn't. That's not an apology. Didn't nobody ask you that. Why wouldn't she be there? She's part of the cast. This girl talking about, I receive it. We could be cordial. Okay, girl. How long are you going to be able to be cordial? 10, 15 minutes? Now the men are coming in. They have Dr. G sequestered in a room by himself because he was like to involve police and things. So since he did that, they made him sit in the room by himself while all the guys are chilling together in the other room, having a good time with King. Dr. Eugene is like, I don't think you did anything wrong. Let's be clear about that. I do think that having Greg and Quad in the same space, they have some unresolved issues and, that's what's making things not cool over here. He's not wrong. Because as funny as I thought it was, I also thought, girl, leave them people alone. They already sitting behind you. It's just making you look a fool and you tipsy. But the way he responds is like so way worse than anything. Like they immediately, both of them, as soon as somebody says something, they click right back into the mode of bickering Bickersons. I'm just trying to understand if he's so uncomfortable, why it stresses him out so much, why he decided to come back over to this show. He came back over to this show to rub it in Quad's face that he found him a sweet tea. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know, like the lady said, it's no comparison, honestly. These women are couldn't be more different. And that's not a slight to anyone. Um, it's just that they don't, it's apples and oranges over here. So, but he could never pull another Quad. Not on the level where she is right now. He pulled her when she was coming to the TV and she had on that blue eyeshadow and stuff. And she was cute then. Like I feel like she was even when she was like on her, journey to this reality TV glamorous world that she lives in now, she was still cute already. And you didn't appreciate it. I don't know that cute. I'm just saying she didn't need that much for the new wig for an upgrade. She wasn't busted before. Some people were busted. Like, I don't want to, Dr. Heavenly has definitely made some changes over the years. Hmm. We can always look back if you really want to see what it was. And she be over here calling people names. So, you have to catch one every now and then. King said that Dr. G fell into familiarity talking to Quad the way he did. I think they both fell into it. I think Dr. G absolutely was like, fell into this space where he used to talk to Quad all types of way. And he's like, what we not going to be doing is that. So you're going to have to figure out a different way to communicate with Quad, especially if we're going to be in this space together, because it doesn't look like anybody wants to go anywhere. And just like T needs to peep, King, get your woman some help because there's really nothing after you acquire a king Quad. There's really nothing you should be saying to this man besides, huh? What? You so far down there, I can't hear you. They bring Dr. Mimi on the set because she's a psychologist, psychiatrist, and I guess she's gonna come read everybody's brain. Quad and Mimi and Steve and King have been hanging out. They had a great time. They enjoying each other's company. I feel like just because Mimi is so chill, that's probably a good combination because Quad can come with all the dramatics and then Steve and Mimi can go home and, laugh about it. King seems cool enough. Like, honestly, all the men seem to like enjoy his company. No surprise there. Mimi and Heavenly, I feel like Mimi is like slowly but surely getting to know Heavenly and she knows better than step off in there too deep because Heavenly is like a shark that will bite your foot off if you get too close. And then she gonna spit it out. She gonna say it, then she gonna take it back. That's what sharks do when they bite people. You don't have no leg, and then the shark be like, I don't eat people anyway. Sorry about the whole leg situation. Thought you were gonna be having some blubber. Ain't that some shit? I'm without an arm because you thought I was something different. Child, that's Dr. Heavenly. She gonna say it, chop your arm right the fuck off, and then say, sorry about it, I take it back. Andy asked Mimi, what does she see happening with T? And this whole situation of the exes and all of that. And Mimi said the environment has to be hard for newlyweds. You're trying to get to know your person, and now you're on this platform with these people with all these opinions. And that's true, because I don't think I ever really thought about it like that. The whole part where she just married this dude. And she over here trying to push out a baby, which she's having difficulties, whether she knew she was going to have trouble or not, that it was going to be hard. She might have known it was going to be hard because she was over her on her channel talking about how many tens of thousands of dollars they dumping on all of these treatments. And she checked, this is T. She giving us all her personal business. She says she trying to right now see if her insurance gonna cover it. That's what Dr. G was like. We're not going to be doing this. See if your job can cover it. I'm not paying for it. So that's where they at with it. She said, Mimi said they could have all done a better job trying to mend this situation. I guess they could have, but then what would we be watching? The whole point was to bring this mess over here for our entertainment in the first place. While Dr. Jackie sits back and says, I don't want to get any of that on me. I don't want to get involved in any of that. Sweet Tea says she's tired of the comparisons. She's tired of the comparisons between her and Quad. And Quad is like, it's human nature. Like we're the ex-wife and the new wife, people are gonna compare. But you can't compete where you don't compare. There's no comparison. That's what Quad said. And she's not wrong. And Sweet Tea is left there with her mouth hanging open. She's like, girl, that's what she said. The lady said you don't compare to her. And we've all said it too. And that's a terrible thing to say, but I feel like it's just in the lane that Quad is in. You are not in that lane. And it's okay. Be great in the lane you're in. We don't know what that is. I don't know. Kitchen, barefoot, pregnant. That's the lane you striving for. Doctor husband that doesn't let you speak unless you're spoken to. I mean, this is what you wanted. You wanted a Damon daddy. You wanted a doctor daddy. So you got you a doctor daddy off the internet. And now you're showing other girls how to get them a doctor daddy. So Dr. Jackie is invited to the White House to discuss reproductive rights. And I get very irritated every time I have to hear her speak on this subject matter. But here we are with Dr. Jackie congratulating herself for being, call me Dr. Jackie for a different reason now, because I'm down here to the White House with Kamala Harris. Jackie says that maternity mortality is losing funding based on this new administration. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of things are losing funding. So I guess as a people, we're going to have to learn how to refund things. Maybe, Dr. Jackie, this is an idea. You can hold, I don't know, we could call it a med gala. And then you can get all your rich friends to come donate money. Huh? Isn't that a thought? I feel like Phaedra came over here and helped you go from 25,000 to 100,000. And honestly, all you need is four big willies to come drop a, 25 or whatever. Dr. Jackie, you bees down to the White House. Surely you know somebody with pockets that could fill up your Med Gala with $100,000 worth of donations raised. I would say fundraising should start now, Dr. Jackie. Just a FYI, fundraising should start now. By the time you get to the gala, a good amount of that money should have already been raised. Like, throw some candy bars in your office and make the people pay $1 for them. You know what I'm saying? Them little bits of money add up. Give me a call, Dr. Jackie. I can, give you some ideas. I'm not coming over there, but if you want some ideas on how to start raising money right now, that would be a great idea. Quit playing. While you over here, talking about how funding is being lost, like you have a tool. You have a tool to help, donate money for the cause. We know how you really feel. And now that we know you, just like Dr. Heavenly, she'll say an apology and then she'll take it back. So we know you don't mean what you said anyway. So the only way, Dr. Jackie, for you to make us like, I don't know, I won't speak for everybody, I'll speak for me. I'm not about to change my mind, but I will give you credit every time you show up, every season you show up with a med gala and a big check. That should be part of your annual thing, Dr. Jackie. Y'all gonna have to do better with your venues, you and Toya. On a lighter note, Andy ran the hell away from that conversation. He didn't want to hear about no mortality and maternity. He didn't want to hear about no funding taken away. He didn't want to hear about no how Black women are treated amongst the medical industry. So Andy ran very fast away from that conversation. He wants to know from Dr. Mimi an assessment of each one of the ladies. She said none of them are crazy. So what does she really think about these ladies? Jackie is intentional and corrective conversations. She is. She's intentional. So when she said what she said about Black women and as it relates to going to the doctor and being lazy, you know what Dr. Jackie said. We're never going to let her forget what she said. We're over here discussing how the mortality rate amongst Black women and during pregnancy, based on how doctors don't take them seriously, Dr. Jackie. That was intentional. Now, the corrective conversation was when she came over to the sofa with her fake tears down to the bottom of her heart, pretending to be sorry. She was sorry that that video got released, but she was not sorry about what she said because she's intentional. That's what Dr. Mimi said. I'm just telling y'all what she said. Quad is grief. Grieve it out. I feel like Quad is grief, is, as passionate and high tempered as this Dr. G is, so is Quad. Like, there's no reason why this man should set you off so much. You're still mad. I'm not saying get over it, but definitely get past it and live your life. Let him be in your past, child. Let him and Sweet Tea be doing whatever it is they're doing over there in that kitchen that you used to cook in. Dr. Mimi, I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you with this one. Heavenly, open up your inner child and nurture her. Heavenly is a whole child. She needs to dig deep and find her inner adult. She is 50, damn near 60 years old. Her inner child is dead and gone, child. Let her go. Can you please grow the hell up over here, Twitter fighting and things with people half your age, same age as the children? Jesus. Simone needs to be less rigid and more flexibility. And less loud, less rigid, less loud. And I mean, I don't know anything about her flexibility. I don't know, like, does she mean in her, arms and legs, or does she mean in her work schedule? Because I don't know. She says she loved being over there. I don't think she likes Cecil and them boys so much. So I don't know if you got that one either, Dr. Mimi. Maybe I've just been watching these people longer than you have. Toya, you got it, and you don't need any more validation. It's true. She living the lifestyle over there. She's the one, as crazy as Toya is, with a seemingly happy marriage and a good husband. Ain't nobody said Dr. Eugene was nowhere getting nobody's phone number. That's not what they said. Sweet Tea, you might have to let us know how to support you. We don't know. I think that's bullshit. What do you mean how to support her? Dr. Mimi, that seems like the answer that the person that wants to come back next season and have relationships with anybody but Sweet Tea would say. But hey, Contessa, don't be distracted. You have a lot of energy. Put it where it's supposed to be. Yes, you have a lot of loudmouth energy, just like Dr. Simone. Stop worrying about Dr. Heavenly. Y'all are not friends. Let that shit go and focus on your marriage. Since that seems to be the bane of all of this drama in the first place. Now the guys are on set. Most of the guys are looking a fool. Dr. Eugene looks good, and Dr. Scott looks nice. Greg look a damn fool with a blue shirt and a green tie and turquoise colored brooches on his lapel and burgundy socks. He had all the colors. Him and Sweet Tea, I'm sure she picked that out. Are they trying to match? I don't know what they got going on. He did have socks. He gets points for that, but Cecil, he dressed like Hugh Hefner somewhere with an ascot and a velvet blazer. Curtis is a big, gigantic man in a big yellow suit with a burgundy shirt and looks like somebody's granddaddy. I mean, he is probably, at least he's old enough to be, but that's what he was dressed like. Steve has puffy ankles, and I would prefer not looking at them. So he has on a sparkly jacket. Can you imagine Steve's sparkly jacket and puffy ankles walking next to Dr. Mimi? That's a lot in the picture. I'm sorry. Who else? King. I don't know what that strap was around your chest, but it looks stupid. Take it off. Anyway, what's going on over here? Andy comes out trying to get King and Greg to shake hands. Why? They had to be separated. These two people had to be separated in opposite rooms, but you want them to just come out and shake hands? No, Andy. Greg said everything he heard about King from the guys was positive. So I have no idea why he acted the way he did. He has no idea. Okay. And King says he has nothing against Greg, but to start the conversation in an accusatory tone shows lack of accountability. It absolutely does. You know exactly why this man snapped. You could have, just took your accountability then and then shake hands, but no, you're still mad. So Dr. Eugene is still considering adding Botox to his spa. He said that the lady needs to be hot, whoever is the person that he hires to do that. And unfortunately, it sounds terrible, but I agree because this is a superficial business. This is like, the beauty business is, full of people that want beautiful people to tell them what they need to hear. This is a business of image. So, it may suck, but, that's just how it is. I personally would rather have the best person, but he's not wrong. And he will make money if he puts a pretty lady doctor's picture on the pamphlet. Because the other ladies will be like, ooh, look at her skin. Let me go see. King, I think it was, it said, is Toya gonna be okay with you having a hot Botox doctor over there? And she said if the money right, she will have no problems with it. She won't. She'll just buy another house. I don't think she's worried about that. He's already a doctor. Like, I don't think she's worried about that. I'm sure he's around plenty of good-looking doctors where he work at. Ask Dr. Damon, because he's the one whose name is out here in these streets. Andy brings up Heavenly's tweet about Dr. G not being respected in the medical community. And Andy asked Dr. Damon how he would feel if Sweet Tea did that. And Damon sitting up there lying, talking about he wouldn't care. I wouldn't care.
The lies. There you go, this bitch. The lies.
Damon knows damn well that Heavenly's tweet can definitely have a negative effect on Dr. G's business, especially her being like a public figure. Those things, like, people, have been down to her office from internet based on some things that she said about Melanie over there on Carlos's channel. So she knows that these words coming from some of these people over here on, television and having a certain effect on how other people respond to it. So he's dead ass wrong. Heavenly is. And so is Damon for backing her up. He claims he don't care about cheating, but he seems to be in his feelings about it all a lot. And he's mad at Greg for not defending his character. I'm like, all Greg said was, I don't know what you be doing. It's true. And he's probably heard the rumors too. And so why is it so important for you to have Greg co-sign for you? You don't need it. You don't care, right? Damon keeps calling this man a coward. And I'm like, why are you saying that? How does that make him a coward? I don't even think he was a coward down to the beach. I think if I seen King take his shirt off and come charging at me, I would probably run too. So I don't know why that would be considered him being cowardly. I mean, the cowardly part is that you started the shit. That part is cowardly, but this right over here does not make him be a coward. Damon keeps using the phrase as a man. Like, first you call him a coward, now you're saying as a man. This, I would not do that. And, first of all, Dr. Damon, and I'm usually team Dr. Damon, but him and Heavenly are over here being, full of it. As a man, he's a man. He's a shitty man, but I mean, that's with the girls, with his women, with his wives. I don't know how he is as a friend. He might call the cops. Now, you keep that in mind if he gets all in his feelings. But, up until now, they have been great friends. All this time, they've been great friends, but you want to bully him into saying something. What? What was he supposed to do to defend your character? Him saying, I don't know what you be doing. I don't feel like that's cowardly or not manly. That's just the truth. I don't know what the hell you be doing in your personal life. Cecil says the same goes both ways. If your wife is over here saying things that can affect his business and calling him a P file, meanwhile, the ladies are in the back, Heavenly talking about Greg doesn't want to take accountability. And I was like, I know you're not talking. Heavenly and Simone and Dr. Jackie and pretty much everyone on this show should not ever be able to use the words accountability. None of them know how to take accountability from what I can see. And Dr. Damon is sitting up here acting like somehow infidelity rumors has the same effect as calling somebody the P word. That is not true. That could have really like affected him in that's a whole nother level of what the what. And she put it on Twitter. And you telling her, Dr. Mimi, she needs to be in touch with her inner child. That is childish. She needs to put away her inner child. Put her away. Because your inner child is disrespectful. Needs to go on timeout. Dr. Damon says Dr. Greg stopped accepting his, referrals, his patients out of spite. Greg says he didn't. He probably did, but I don't think that's cowardly either. It's just a lie. He said it's not true. He said that them patients you were sending over there was high maintenance, and I didn't have the capacity to handle all that. And Dr. Damon said, no, because it happened at the same time. And under normal circumstances, you would have let me know that you didn't have any more space to take any more patients. And Dr. Heavenly is in the back calling Dr. Greg a bitch ass nigga. And I'm like, for what? Why? What? I don't know, Dr. Heavenly. I see a bitch. And in this moment, it ain't great. Damon says he moves with integrity, and integrity is important to him. And then Dr. G like looks at him and he just like sinister laughs in his face. It's creepy. And then Dr. Damon was like, that's not funny. And then Greg follows up with, whatever you say, David. You know what? You got it. And can I tell you, over here in my household, my man likes to do that a lot. Whenever we get in a little tiff, the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, that's all right, whatever, you got it. I hate that. It makes me so mad. So I know how mad Dr. Damon was in that moment because it pisses me off when we're in the middle of an argument and you say, okay, you got it. When you know that ain't what it is and you're like, we are not here. This is not the end of this conversation. You can whatever you got to me all you want, but we will be finishing whatever it is we're saying. And now you've just given me more time to think about how I want to, respond to whatever. You got it. Whew. Let me worry about these folks over here. I done got worked up. Dr. Damon finally says he does want to talk to Dr. Greg. He doesn't want this to fester anymore. And Dr. Greg apologized and said, maybe he could have handled it different. Andy asked Eugene, is their couples trip a place for exes? No, it is not. Eugene said it's been an uphill climb dealing with these two exes over here, and I wouldn't have done it. So I can't, be mad because it has to be a super uncomfortable position to be in. Yeah, especially like it's not like the exes departed on good terms. These people like fought their way out of the marriage. Cheating down to the hotel. I heard Heavenly bring that up in the back. She always wanted to throw that in T's face. And I was like, Heavenly, he did not cheat on you. You don't get to use somebody else's experience as a, dig at, why y'all going back and forth. You sound stupid. Why you worried about who was down to the hotel? Allegedly, could have been, I'm just saying, Damon was out here asking people for numbers. According to Simone, your friend. Nope. Now they're gonna have to fight over Jackie again because they're gonna require Jackie to be in the middle of their bullshit. Carter said, look, Greg came over here with his new, lady in his life, and Quad had to watch the whole engagement and all of that take place on the show. Simone. And now the Quad has her, significant over here. It should be the same way. She wasn't over there bugging. And then Big Mouth Simone is in the back talking about, well, we had already kicked her out. She wasn't around. Still, even though maybe she wasn't in the same room with him, she walked around acting like poised and she wasn't busting a blood vessel when she was around them. And she had to watch it play out, like on the show where y'all kicked her out. Y'all kicked her off, brought him in. You ain't sorry about that shit. You said it plenty. You gave us your ass to kiss. You gave us your ass to kiss. Come on. She had to watch it and then not, be on the show. It was almost like y'all kicked her out so Greg and Sweet Tea could come over. So maybe no, she wasn't in the same room, but I feel like it still hurt. Y'all over here kissing this girl's ass until she said fuckity fuck to Dr. Jackie and then everything switched. And y'all was like, ooh, girl. Quad tells Simone, listen, it's messed up that you brought them back into the group anyway, if you want to know the truth. And Simone was like, you got says that one more time. You gave us your ass to kiss, so we invited who we fuck with. Oh, and we fuck with T and Greg. Okay. I mean, do they? I guess. I don't know. Somebody hanging out with him, but they don't seem to, value his friendship all that much. I feel like Cecil will hang out with whoever Simone brings around. And I feel like Simone's little snaky ass brought Greg around as an excuse. I don't really feel like they were tight like that. I think she did this just to be shitty towards Quad. Simone has a really unnatural anger towards Quad. Her arguments are, they going back and forth. They done already got down to like F you, it's a shut the F up beef between Quad and Simone. And things just kept escalating. Quad brought up, like, I was there for you when we were looking for your father. And then Simone screaming back, that's only because cameras are there. So now she feels like Quad only wants to be around when cameras are there. And I'm like, what do you care? That's what they all doing. Like, y'all are all there for the cameras. So why is it any different for Quad? I mean, based on what has happened now, why do I need to tell you anything? I don't know. Maybe some people like get in relationships and want to tell the world, but there's another set of people who want to like, protect that until you know what it is. So no, I didn't tell you who I'm not cool with, who I was messing with. There's a time frame for when you have somebody in your life that you then decide to invite to your significant other into your friend group, and y'all wasn't even friends like that. So, girl, you is mad for what? I just don't understand why Quad is this. I mean, why Simone is this mad? It don't make sense, girl. You breathing heavy. Next week, she's sitting down with Jackie. She foaming at the mouth. She breathing heavy, trying to convince she just only wants to be around for the camera. Girl, yes, that's what I'm here for. The camera and the check. Stupid ass. Heavenly is giving a Contessa once again a heartfelt apology. These two don't need to be friends either, Dr. Jackie. And the thing that hurts me is because these two used to be friends. They used to be, but I feel like at some point you do too much, there's no turning back. Like, I don't know what Heavenly is talking about now, why she crying. She trying to, I don't know, damage control or something. It doesn't work because when you have apologized as much as Heavenly has apologized, it's just like around here, for instance. You could go through, and I mean, I'm in a heavy Latina environment. So you could go through the drive through, and they'd be like, okay, my love, at the 7-Eleven, okay, my love. My love is so overused within this community that me and my man don't even say it to each other because, you say my love, then we looking at each other like, oh, that ain't special. I'm supposed to be special. You don't say the same thing to me that you say everybody else. So that's how Dr. Heavenly is over here saying sorry. Once you say, I'm going to take it back, just don't say it. I don't want it. I can't tell the way it was cut because, they try to manipulate how things are playing out. But Contessa just looking at her crazy. I hope she stay looking at her crazy. I don't want to see Contessa break down no more about trying to be friends with this lady. Simone says she good on Quad, and I want Contessa to be good on Heavenly because, girl. And I guess Dr. G, he the only one standing in his shit. He said he is not gonna be okay with King. That's not gonna happen. I don't know what happened like at the end of the conversation. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's a reason why he's feeling this way. But this is where he said he gets off the Quad King train. And I guess he'll be performing his, latest hit back, Set Me Free from the Bullshit. And T is sitting up there grinning about a song that her husband has written for his ex-wife. Y'all, let me know, what did you think of this part two? So far, part one and part two have been good. So part three is next week. Y'all, till then, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video, and I will see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.